following program is intended for mature audiences.
A democratic republic of sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
Welcome into the Wicked Weed studio. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene. Time to talk about the Tennessee Titans. We are in the Wicked Weed studio, wickedweedbrewing.com. Drink different. Let's do it. Tennessee Titans, this past week against the Seattle Seahawks, you finally got what you wanted, Titans fans. Derrick Henry going off for 237 total yards. It was pound town.
It was an offensive bonanza.
It was indeed.
You remember what I said before this game? You remember when I said, hey, week one was just an aberration?
Yep.
That played out nicely.
Yeah.
And guess what? Your schedule for the next month is pretty bleak until you play the Bills. This is a team that should be 4-1. If they're not, I will be more than moderately surprised.
I was going to say markedly surprised because the Colts haven't looked good, the Jets are horrible, and the Jaguars are god-awful. Mm-hmm. You should no doubt win all of those games. And here we go. Derrick Henry, I mean, there's, we'll get into this week's game in just a second. Let's talk about last week's game because we finally saw Julio Jones come about. You don't think that him and AJ are going to have big games together?
I think it will be rare. I don't look for it to happen a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, for that,
I can see this week being one of those weeks.
I could too, because I don't necessarily think Derrick Henry is going to be great this week.
Mm-hmm.
You're certainly not getting a double up of what happened last week.
No.
But, I mean, in all the games that Ryan Tannehill has played for the Tennessee Titans, how many times do you think he's gone over 300 yards?
Oh, goodness. I'd say 6.
Let me just make sure we're going backwards. 7 in 3 years.
Okay. He's been extremely efficient. Again, one of the most efficient quarterbacks in the NFL since
according to Pro Football
job.
Focus grades, he's been the third best quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
And that was with one loss where you got shellacked.
Yeah.
I don't look for that to happen. I said after week one, there's no reason to panic on this team. It was a bad week. And you know what? Sometimes that shit happens. Mm-hmm. There's no rhyme or reason to it. There's no way really to see it coming. It was just a bad week. Mike Vrabel went out and got after Julio Jones, and guess what? He responded.
Yeah.
Really good players tend to respond to hard coaching, and that's what they got. You just had a good win over the Seahawks, and now you got 3 weeks where I don't think you're going to be challenged.
You've had back-to-back weeks, though, where you've given up 30 or more points, and to me, I think that's going to be where you're at for most of the season.
The defense is not particularly good.
When you play the shittier teams, sure, you're going to be able to keep them below 30, but when you play a half-assed offense or better, which you've played some damn good ones so far in the Cardinals and the Seahawks, you're going to have to outscore them. And I don't know that you could do it every week. Now, the Tennessee Titans, to me, are, they're head and shoulders above everybody in this division.
Oh, easily.
There was one point where I thought that it was going to be close between them and the Colts, and god damn, I was wrong on that one.
It's not even vaguely
It's
close.
not. It's not. They are going to hammer everybody in their division. I will be surprised if they lose a game inside the division this year. Derrick
I will do
Henry's
so
just
because
a
the
monster.
Colts can't keep up with them offensively.
Exactly.
Oh, the Titans' defense is not all that good. And these are the Colts' offense. Mm-hmm. I'm just not overly worried about that.
No. And the biggest thing that concerns me about this week going in is that the Colts defend the run pretty well.
The Colts defend the run well. I don't disagree with that.
Right.
That's going to slow down Derrick Henry. They're god-awful against the pass.
Exactly.
What I was going to say is you shut down Chris Carson last week. Chris Carson was an afterthought. He fell in the end zone twice. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got that. It was from, 2 yards out and 4 yards out or something like that?
Something like that.
He had 13 carries for 31 yards.
Mm-hmm.
So you shut him down. You look at a team like the Colts have to run the ball to get the pass going. They're a play-action, Frank Wright team. I don't like the chances of that happening. I think you go 6-0 in the division. The more time passes, I think it will take time for them to get on the same page. And I think this defense will get better in time. Mm-hmm. As time goes on, it will get better.
I agree with that. I think this offense is just fine. The defense needs a little bit of help, but at this point, I don't know where you're going to get it from. I'm still waiting to see if the secondary can do something.
Wait till Caleb Farley shows up.
Okay.
I think Caleb Farley will be a market improvement, which allows Christian Fulton to play down in the slot, and that will improve a lot. Just that one movement will change a lot.
All right. I will stick around and wait and see. Until then, you're going to rack up a whole bunch of wins against this division and against some of the worst teams in the NFL. You'll
rack up wins against bad teams.
It should
and I got
be a
news
good
for
month.
you. Looking at the schedule for the Titans, if you just beat the shitbird teams on your schedule, you will win 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 games. Mm-hmm. That's just beating the teams that you are so much better than that you have no reason losing to them.
Yep.
That's 11-6. That wins the division and gets you to the playoffs.
Yes, indeed it does. We will continue to keep you up to date on all Tennessee Titans things here in the Sportsocracy. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you'll notice every time that we go live or anytime we post new content out here. We'll be covering every team throughout the season. Live every weekday morning at 10 a.m. in the Wicked Weed studio. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time.